Hey guys, we are doing a short within chat why I am diamond painting. I wanted to give everybody an update on Bandit, who is my dog. He's 10 years old and he was diagnosed with bone cancer. It's a long word which I can't pronounce, but I will write it in my description box. But I didn't know how severe and how bad this bone cancer is for animals. So if you have a dog, this would be a good time to listen to my story, why I diamond paint. And today I am giving you an update because he had his first chemo. So what I'm doing is I'm working on a budget-friendly painting, which is this bird, which I know is a replica, but I didn't know at the time because I got this a long time ago, about 2 years ago when I first started diamond painting. And I am using Diamond Art Club Rose Sparkly Sticky Scented Wax Putty. I haven't used this in a long time, and I kind of let it dry a little bit because when I first got it, it was very stringy. I didn't like it, a lot of people didn't like it, so I kind of left it open for about 6-7 months, and now I love it, and it has a great snap sound. And I am using my new pen. I did a video on it a couple days ago, so if you didn't see that video, go watch it and check it out. And maybe you'll like the site that I got this from. Alright guys, so Bandit is my 10-year-old emotional support dog. About 3 weeks ago, he was diagnosed with bone cancer, and it's a very aggressive bone cancer in dogs. You can't tell or know until it's too late most of the time. I could be wrong, but this is what I've learned so far. And when he first got diagnosed, I brought him to the veterinarian because I noticed he was walking funny and his joint in his back leg was swelled up. I thought maybe with all the kicking and everything, because he loves walking and everything else, and he gets excited and loves doing that kicking and everything to be Mr. Hotshot. I thought maybe he got something embedded in his leg, or he cut his leg and it just got infected. So we brought him to this vet, and never again. Oh my gosh, this person shouldn't be a veterinarian. I never saw a cold-hearted, especially for a female, so rude, so cold-hearted, unprofessional. And when she came out, no compassion. She came right out to the point and said, your dog's going to be gone in 1 month. And there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm like, what? And she said, I think he has bone cancer. And she said, there's not much you can do about it. He's gonna pass away. She says, I can refer you to a different doctor, but she says, I don't think it's gonna be worth it. And the way they treated him there, oh, I should go after them. But she did refer him to a doctor that is an hour away, thank goodness, because we called back and complained and told her we were going to turn her in and everything else. And I am thankful that she did. You could tell she was a little bit on the cuckoo side because when we talked to her, I got so upset with her, I hung up with her, and she kept calling back and calling back and calling back and calling back. What kind of person would do that? If I worked for a company or owned a company or whatever, if I knew I had an unhappy customer or whatever, I wouldn't turn into a psychotic woman, you know? I would just let it go and try to fix it whatever way I could and then move on. So we have a good friend that is a doctor, and he said, "Did you get the X-rays?" And I said, "No." She wouldn't let us go in the room with him. She didn't show us the X-rays. She just came out and said what she said, and that was it. I mean, she dragged him, tried to drag him into the X-ray room by a string around his neck. What kind of person does that? I told her to stop, and I put his harness back on. My dog is the most friendliest, kindest dog you could ever meet. This dog is like a human. Everybody loves him. This dog has been attacked 7 times. He's been abused and everything. And this dog has a heart of gold. So, our friend wanted to look at the x-rays because he's a retired doctor. And he thought, it don't sound like it could be it. But he never really owned a pet. And that was his field. You know, he was a regular doctor, you know. And so with this diagnosis, you have to get it treated real fast, or you have to do what you got to do real fast because it spreads really fast in dogs. It does end the dog's life real fast if you don't get on top of it. There's no cure, there's nothing. So, first of all, this lady made us wait another 2 to 3 weeks to get into this place, and then when we called this place, we were kind of wary about it because the lady said, "Oh, well, we didn't see nothing too concerning." And she made an appointment like for another 2 weeks, so it was almost a month before he got seen. But here we're thinking he's got cancer. Why are they waiting for a month to get this dog in? Especially if he can die in a month, you know? So, when we went to this veterinarian, oh my gosh, this veterinarian is wonderful. Very, very wonderful. And it was perfect timing because they had this new program that's been going on for a little while now. And it just started at this veterinarian, and they pay for everything for dogs that have this certain kind of cancer, but the only thing they don't cover is surgery. If he has to have some kind of surgery, you're responsible for the surgery, which is basically, it usually starts in the leg. It starts in a joint. Because it's bone cancer, so it starts in a joint, so you know it's going to have a leg removal. So when we met her and everything, she was wonderful. They treated him very well. They fell in love with him. They said they never had a dog like him before. They love him. They really love him. So when he went for almost 2 to 3 hour tests, he passed everything. It did not spread. That's the main thing. If it didn't spread to his liver or his lungs or his heart, he was good to have his leg removed, and he was going to be accepted into this program. So he passed. Well, today is 3 weeks since he had his leg removed. He's been doing really good. He is showing strong will, like saying, "Hey mom, I know I'm 10 years old, but I'm not going nowhere," because he's my emotional support dog. We've been together since day one, and him and I have been through thick and thin, and he's just the best thing that ever came into my life. So I would do anything for him. So we brought him to his first appointment since he had his leg removal. And the sad thing is that I never got him used to riding in the car. The only time he ever rode in the car was when he was a puppy and he had to go get neutered. Ever since then, he never wanted to get near a car because I guess that was a PTSD or PSTD, whatever you call it, experience for him, because he's like, "Oh, if I were getting a car again, I know something's gonna happen to me." So it was funny to get him into a car, but this time when we brought him, he rode really well. We made a ramp for him and everything because now he's on 3 legs and he's spoiled and he thinks he's human. He really, really does. So we brought him there and they love him. They asked us a bunch of questions and he got accepted. There's 2 types of programs they have there for this cancer, and he actually got accepted for hopefully they said the good one. It's better than the standard regular chemo. They're hoping that this one that Bandit's on is going to help these animals, these dogs. If you own a dog, you definitely want to hear this story, because if you love your animal as much as I do, this is good information, because I never knew anything about this. And it's something that needs to be told, and maybe one day they will find a cure for these animals, because it's very painful, it's very aggressive, and it comes on fast. And like I said, you don't know that your dog has it until it's too late. And the only way we figured it out was because his joint was being it was swelling, and he was walking not so good on that leg, but he wasn't showing no pain or anything. And dogs are very tough. They don't show pain that often. They really don't, especially him. He's a pit bull mixed boxer, English terrier, something. He's a very smart dog. And so when he did that 3-hour test, they said he took it like a trooper. He listened to them. He didn't give them a hard time. He said it was better than a human. He said they never saw a dog like him before. They said when you talk to him, he looks you straight in the eye. He knows what you're saying. I mean, he does. He really, really does. And so when he went today, he got all excited. And, with him being attacked by dogs and been abused by other people around where I live, because where I live is terrible. It's a complex. It's been run by landlords that mismanage. The corporation that owns this place is corrupted. It's a long story. But if they don't like you, they try to do everything to get you out of here. And if they can't get you, they'll get your dog or whatever you have. They'll go down the line until they get what they want. Well, they never met anybody like me. So they got a long, hard road ahead of them, because we have been beat on. We have been, a lot of things. We've been slandered, defamation of character, discrimination, you name it. And by the time I'm done, I might own this place. But the point of the story is that we're talking about poor Bandit. So Bandit went for his first chemo today, and they asked a couple questions. They asked how he was doing. We said he's doing very well. The only thing we're seeing different in him is he's depressed, because he's used to walking 3 times a day, and he loves his walks. But he's only allowed to walk just to go out, do his business, and come right back in, because they don't want to stress him out on his leg and everything until he gets used to it and they know everything is doing okay. Because this is the year study program. But this was perfect timing that he caught this, because this program was just starting at this veterinarian place. And I'm telling you this, I never saw such a place. They are so good with animals. They got a heart of gold. They call you almost every day. They ask if you need anything. They'll give you whatever you need if you can't handle it. Or they'll give you advice. I mean, they know what they're doing. And I just never saw a veterinarian so good as they are. And all they do is treat dogs that are sick. And they have such a heart of gold. They really do. And when he had to spend the night there, when he had his leg removed, that was his first time to be away from home. And we knew he didn't like it. And the nurse said that she stayed with him and everything. And she said he was such a sweetheart. And they, it's just, he is. And they said he was worth saving. They were happy that we got him into this program. And they pay for everything. They do the chemo, they do all the studies they have to do, because he's not just trying to save his life, he is trying to save other canines for volunteering to do this program. Whether I get 2 years, 3 years, or up to 5 years of his life, I gave him a chance to be with me a lot longer, and it's a chance to help other dogs who get it, because they can get it at 10 years old, they can get it at 6 months. They can get it just like a human at any time. They can get it when they're a baby. And like I said, once they get it, it spreads so fast, it's not funny. So with the new study program he's on, he got into the good program. And I'm not supposed to really talk about what they really do, but it's almost something that they're starting to do with a human. So I'm hoping that it will extend dogs' life or cure them because, dogs don't show emotions like humans do. So, um, when he went today, he went for his ride and he was happy. He was happy to go. I was actually shocked because he knew he was going to the doctor, but he knows we're trying to take care of him because he looked a lot better than what he was doing because we couldn't understand why he was always had red eyes, red body. His body was red, where it was white. And even though he had good spirit, we just noticed that things weren't right with him before we found out what he had. So, but he went in there. He sat down. He got along with all the other dogs. He was, you know, you know how people are with pit bulls. They think they're horrible, horrible animals. And hey, I don't care what anybody says about a pit bull. It's just like raising a kid. If you raise a kid to be a nutcase or a killer or a badass, whatever, that kid's it's learned behavior. So if that's how you treat your dog, of course your dog's gonna be that way too. So I don't care what anybody says. Yes, accidents do happen, but that's just like someone could be as sweet as gold, just like what happened just a couple days ago with the one getting passed away. Kid never had a history of nothing. And look what he did. Stuff does happen. But just because one mistake doesn't mean everybody's the same way. So, but everybody fell in love with him there. They asked questions and everything else. And we asked how long it was going to take. And they said a half an hour. And so we sat in the car and the doctor came out. And she's like, oh my gosh. She goes, the dog goes up the ramp with 3 legs because we made a special ramp for him to go in the car. That's the only way we can get him in the car without getting him hurt because if he goes in on the side or anything, it's not that wide. I don't want him to hurt his legs or anything. And she goes, my dog, because her dog, she had to do the same thing for her dog. Her dog has cancer too. And her dog is a young dog. And she was impressed about us making him a ramp and how he goes up it and everything else. But she said she never saw a dog doing as well as he is. But now we just gotta see how he reacts to the chemo. They had to shave him again. The poor dog has no hair on his butt and on the side of his tummy, and he's got beautiful, beautiful colors. He's a black and white, but if you see his pictures, you'll see what I'm talking about. He's a beautiful dog. And now his leg got shaved when he had his surgery because they had to put the needle in his leg, and now they had to do the chemo through his neck. So now he's got a ring around his neck with no hair. So he's like, what's going on? He's missing all his hair and everything else, but he's doing really good. So if you see the picture of him, I took a picture of him when he got home. He went right out like a light. He looked so cute. We made a ramp for him to get up on the bed because he can't go up no more stairs. He can't climb or anything like that. So he has to. You gotta do special things for him. If your dog has this, it's a big responsibility. It's like taking care of an elderly person. It really is. There's a lot of things that they can and cannot do. There's a lot of things you gotta make sure with the medication, what they take, and this and that. But yeah, he came home. He was happy to be home. He thought he was gonna have to stay there again, and he didn't. He enjoyed his ride. He enjoys going there. He was so friendly. He remembered all the staff, and they just love him. They really, really do. So he may be going into a magazine. They said. They did take pictures of him before, and they're taking pictures of him after, and the way his attitude is, and the way he's taking whatever they do, why they have him. Um, they take certain dogs and they do books and magazines and stuff, because they want to show the world what they do, and they want to show how dogs are, and they do all sorts of things for dogs. They really, really do. And So, yeah. So we're gonna see if he's gotta go back tomorrow. We had to go today. He's gotta go back tomorrow and get another shot or whatever they do. Um, but so far so good, guys. So I'm telling you, if you love your pet, keep an eye on them. You know, Bandit, it was my really first dog that I had since I was a kid. You know, and I didn't know dogs. It's a lot of responsibility to have pets. Now I understand. If you don't, if you want a pet, you better be prepared. It's like having a child. You better make sure you got money to support that pet. You better make sure you can take care of that pet, feed it, walk it. If it gets sick, you're there. You know, you gotta make sure you're there for that pet just like it was your own child. Make sure it has all its shots. Make sure it stays healthy. Make sure it has its checkups. I mean, you gotta stay on top of these animals, whether it's a cat, a dog, you know, a bird, whatever. Um, I realize now how important it is when you own a pet. And now, I mean, I always been an advocate for pets. And if I ever became rich or into money, the first thing I would do is buy a lot of land and I would rescue a lot of dogs. I would be one of those people that will take any kind of animal and do anything I could to make their life a lot better, because since my dog has been in this kind of situation, I see how bad it is and what they go through. Just like I saw when my husband had eye cancer, we had to go to Boston, and I saw so many children that had cancer, and it broke my heart. And they are so resilient. They are so tough. These kids, these babies who have cancer and everything, they are so strong. They don't cry. They take it like a trooper, and it's just so remarkable. And my dog is the same way, and I see the other dogs that come in and out of that veterinarian, and they just have a heart of gold, and they got that will to live. If they know they got someone to stand by them, they will do it. They will do what it takes to stay with you. And I can see it in my dog. I see it every day when he looks at me, and he knows when he's sick. He knows I'm there. When he knows I gotta take care of him, he knows I'm there. Whether he likes it, if I have to take care of his boo boo or anything, if he ever gets a boo boo, he starts shaking. He's just like a little baby. If he hears fireworks, he starts shaking. You say boo boo, he starts shaking. Um, you know, he's just, it's just so cute. Animals, they just, I don't know. It's hard to say what you want to say, but they bring joy into your life, especially when your kids are all grown up and you're all by yourself. Now I know that it's nice that certain hospitals let animals in to see the elderly and everything, because they do give you the will and the strength to live just as much as they want to live when they're sick. And they do almost exactly the same thing that a human does. If you pay attention enough to how your animals are, and you study them, and you watch them, and you talk to them, and you teach them, they are very, very smart animals. And what I have seen out of 10 years of my dog, and when I was a little kid, my dog used to be around me all the time, because I was sort of like a bandit as a child. He was the only thing that kept me going. And I remember every day that dog would sit with me stand with me before I got on the bus, and he would be right outside waiting for me to get off the bus. And he was always there to protect me when there was abuse going on. And this dog, I am so grateful that I rescued him. He's a rescue puppy, and he definitely was worth it. And it's so great when you have an animal like that, and you got good people around you who don't judge when there's a problem, or don't judge you until they know you. And I learned so much in the past month because where I live, these people don't even know us, don't even know my dog or anything, and they were judging my dog, they were judging me, they were judging my family and everything else. And if anybody's in the wrong, it's the people who judge you. Don't judge, like they used to say, don't judge the book by its cover, or something like that. There's always two sides to a story. And the way I see it, the way I was brought up, I had a very hard life. And I'm very proud of who I became. And I still, to this day, get abused by people. But they don't know me. They don't get to know me. And that's the problem in this world. We need to all pay attention. And we all need to not jump so fast. We need to slow down and pay more attention and try to understand what is going on, because if not, that's when the problems begin, and then they get worse and worse and worse. And I have discovered this for the past 5 years, because where I live and the things I've been through, and now what I'm going through with my pet and with certain people, between the good and the bad, I'm understanding that people need to slow down and pay attention. We need more support, we need more kindness, and we need more help. We need to be there for each other, because life is too short to be acting this way. And it's getting worse day by day, and it's sad. So remember, pay attention and see what's going on around you, because you might be that certain person that could change someone's life, just like I'm doing right now with my dog. And my dog is changing someone's life, because he's trying to help other canines to live longer and be around with their own owners that love and care for them. So remember, just open your eyes a little bit and don't judge a person or an animal before you get to know them. So on that note, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will talk to you later. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, and I will talk to you guys later. And don't forget to follow, like, and share. Alright guys, have a great night. Bye.